Hi, my name is Eric Patel. 25 years old, living upstate New York. The way that HIV and AIDS impacts my life is the fact that I was born with it. Just because people like me are out here that have AIDS or HIV, not everybody knows what it is or what to do if they meet somebody with it or when their friends come out with it. Everybody else have a life, have a family. I'm a dad, got a little one of my own. She's healthy. It's not the end of the world. All it really is literally a cold that you will never ever get rid of. Don't share needles. Use protection. If you guys want to go get tattoos, I prefer you go to a shop. Yes, because shops you can guarantee clean needles, that everything is sterile. Going to home tattoos, you never know if the person's needle is clean. If you go to a home tattoo, make sure they open a brand new needle in front of you. Unprotected sex, and not everybody knows that they have it, and not everybody's that has it is willing to tell their partners that they are sick because they're scared of the stigma that's out here. You got medicines to take, you have a bunch of different doctor's appointments to go to. Basically, nothing really changes for me at all. I do everything. I eat, I go to sleep, I work out, I chill with my friends, have a family that loves me. Probably take meds every day, twice a day, unlike some people. But there are people out there that have other things besides AIDS that they have meds for. But people think with AIDS, it means you can't be friends with them because if you touch them, you're gonna get it. You can't get it from touching. Reenacted me cutting myself, and usually I have people around me that know how to help me take care of it, so usually they can just hand me what I need to clean up my cut. But if I don't have anybody that knows about it around me, I just tell them to grab me my first aid kit that I usually have with me, or Band-Aid in my wallet I usually always carry around. You can clean a wound anyway, but if you don't know the person or anything, you should always wear gloves or something to protect yourself. There's too many people out here that are scared of people like me, but at the same time, if I wasn't on this video or talking to you, you would have no idea, because I do everything like you can. I can do some things better than you. You can do things better than me. Don't matter how old you are, what race you are, or where you're from. AIDS is just not in one form. AIDS is everywhere.
Underneath my smiles. I hid in my smiles. Inside I was burning in shame. I was searching for just the right person to blame. I always felt like it was me who deserved the defending. I would share fantastic stories about my life, but deep down I knew I was pretending. I used to constantly dream about how I would love my life to be, but knew I would have to come back to reality. I put on a big act for everyone by overruling my pain by smiles and fun. Soon through my innocent smiles bled my anger and rage, come to know that life has given me an entrance to a whole new page. That's when I tried even harder to cover what lied inside, because of the discrimination and the hate that would just ruin the last of my pride. To me, my life was a disaster. What I saw in the media meant I had to think of my lies even faster. When this would end, I really didn't know. All I knew was that my problems would just worsen and grow. Sure, I was in denial, but it still didn't take much for me to smile. I often heard, "Leanna, why are you always so glad? If I had your life, I will always be sad." Soon after that, it came to me that I did not want to live my life this way. I did not want to pretend no more and have to lie every day. It took hard work, but I soon got there. Now I share my stories without a fear or care. So I used to hide in my smiles. Inside I used to burn in shame, but not no more, because I did find just the right person to blame. Not my close ones or the ones dear to me, but those discriminating against me, a young adult that was born with HIV. Hello everybody, my name is Leanna Thornton. I'm 21 years old. I'm from Rochester, New York, and I am HIV positive. My mother was diagnosed with HIV 21 years ago, and at the same time that she found out she was positive, she discovered that I too was positive. My mom was living a very dangerous life in the streets back then, and she was doing a lot of behaviors that put her at higher risk of becoming infected with HIV. By the time she found out her status, it was too late for me, and they couldn't give me the right preventative care so they could stop the disease from manifesting in me. The doctor said I wouldn't live to be 1 year old, but here I am 21 years old thanks to the advancements of medications and my determination to live. But today I am coming forth and disclosing to you all by sharing my story about being HIV positive because I feel it's very important that we stop the silence. I hope that by telling my story, I can put a little less fear in your heart against the disease. Fear is what makes people discriminate against people with HIV, and people discriminate against HIV because of fear itself. I'm just like anyone else. I'm a college student, I work. I'm a mother of a 2-year-old healthy baby girl, meaning she's HIV negative. The only difference is I'm affected firsthand by something that affects all of us as a whole. Even though it's possible to live a healthy life with HIV, it's still a pain. The meds, the doctor's visits frequently, along with society and the stigma that surrounds it. Get tested and have your partner get tested. Very important, because if you don't know your status, how will your partner know your status? Or if your partner knows your status, how will you know their status? It may be scary to get tested because you might have a fear in your heart of the results, but that's not something to be scared of. If you do get a negative test result, take control of your life and make sure you do everything and anything to not get positive, to not become positive. And if you are positive, make sure you do what you have to. Get treatment. Talk with your doctor, because you can live life with HIV healthy if you take care of yourself. But it's not a walk in the park, and it's not something you want to have. I didn't have the choice, but you do. I hope by telling my story and sharing these very few minutes with you, you can understand and take control of your life. So 3 messages to you. The first message being get tested. The second message being get your partner tested. And the third message being don't ever, ever, ever laugh at another AIDS joke in your life. You never know who's listening.
Explain, Max. Well, we have the ordinary pistol, the extra large bow and arrow, the tri-prong bow and arrow, the missile, and the Hercules sword, which I found in a bucket. Oh, shit. You're
My name is Max Monahan. I'm 23 years old, and I've been living with HIV my entire life. I was born with HIV, meaning I'm perinatally infected, and my mother did not know that she was HIV positive when I was born. My test was her test. When I was born, the doctors gave me 5 years to live. Luckily, I made it past that. And at the time, there wasn't any insurance for people like me, and we couldn't afford medications. And even at that, there weren't any available for children at the time. It was all for adults. There weren't any pediatric trials.
Oh, you got over the shyness? Those crazy kids.
So age 5 rolls around, I'm still kicking, still here, and it's time to start up school like everybody else. And we had to let the teachers and staff know. We had to let the administration at the school know that I have a bloodborne illness. But there wasn't really a way to tell parents directly that there was a child with HIV It had to be much simpler than that. So they sent out a letter to parents that said there was a special needs kid, and that, you know, parents should be aware of that their child will be in contact and in class with this kid. They basically said that I was a special needs kid, that there was just somebody that was just a little bit different from everybody else. But unfortunately, I don't know how it got out, but some of the parents found out that it was because I was HIV positive. And that's when parents wanted their kids to either be in a separate class from me or to have me removed from the class and even from the school. But in general, it just, there's a lot of discrimination and stigma attached to it. And it just, it's not fun. Hi. Hi, come on. Go find a mouse. I don't even like cats. I don't. Come on. I know it's warm. Come on. There we go. Okay. I don't know how tight your frame is, but there is a cat down here. Still. It might be for a while. So around the time I started school, started making some new friends, and one of them became my girlfriend for the time being, and we had a lot of fun together. We were always hanging out, we were always at each other's house, but never really had disclosed to her or her family. And so an opportunity came around for me to really make a statement about, you know, who I was and what I was going through. And it was a World AIDS Day. Downtown Rochester, we had candlelight vigils happening at a few churches, and there were news crews there. And they wanted an interview with somebody. So they put the little kid, I was 6 or 7 at the time, and I disclosed. I made sure that everybody knew that I was HIV positive, local news. So a lot of people saw it, including her parents. And there wasn't really much talk about it, what happened or what that meant or anything. Everything seemed pretty normal. But a couple weeks later, I had no way of getting in touch with her. She had moved, her family had moved, no number, no new address, no nothing. And you know, that really hurt, but luckily I had my family there for me and to talk me through and, you know, to really understand that this might become something that has to be dealt with through the rest of life. But because I wanted to get involved in trying to make a difference for, you know, people like me with HIV and AIDS, I really needed people around me that were going to be able to, you know, kind of hold me up when my head was down. And my parents were always around me, my family were always around to give me any support I need. And by that time I was starting middle school, and I met some of the best friends that I've ever had, and I still have. Just a core group that I would never ever leave ever again. And it was so nice to be accepted by people that were negative, that people had never experienced, you know, someone that was sick like me. And that there was that true love, that true bond, or just immediately. And it could not have been better. It was just another absolutely life-saving moment.
As if I'm... I'm trying really hard, Sam.
Throughout everything, you know, all the years and all the different people that I've been around, different moods, different doctors, you know, the one thing to remember is that this disease, HIV and AIDS, it doesn't make those people any different from anybody else. It's just something extra that they have to deal with personally. And it shouldn't affect the way that the rest of the public sees them or interacts with them or anything like that. These are just human beings that have just a little more adversity. And the important thing is to just not add to that. You know, the way we make this go away, the way that we accept this and get this disease under control is to not make these people feel like they have to be in the shadows and that they're dirty. It's just live on. Life goes on. Be safe, be careful, but life goes on. We're all just human beings.